quick question. Which do you think is better? Is it the app features which I'm providing? Are they a better marketing strategy, or you think co-marketing strategies are better for customer engagement?
I think for the purposes of this competition, focus on marketing. I think product features are always very important, but product features come as a second step. Before you can even look at building more product features that cost more money, you need people using the app. And to get more money, you need more people using the cards, right? So a lot of the features you talk about are very good, and they're things we will see, like, the cashback thing is something American Express does very well. So, when I use my American Express down the road, maybe I get £5 back, or I get points towards airline miles, for example.
What would you do as a person focusing on marketing at FamPay to turn these users into active users?
Mainly, we need to understand why these passive users aren't using the card in the first place. Maybe because they have other options to use, especially when it comes to teenagers. This might be an issue because Paytm Paytm and other such companies already have a large market share. So by introducing tiled loyalty schemes and referral code point, and even gaining these reward points with attractive offers can surely help them switch to FamPay, which is the better option for them, because they're getting better reward schemes, and that kind of incentivizes them, along with the community building, of course, which brings a sense of belongingness among the customers of FamPay.
I get this is non-competitive, but just to keep the spirit of the competition somehow, what are your questions for the youngest member of the Entrepreneurship Club?
How old are you, Anushka?
I'm 13.
Wow. I wish I had this sort of understanding when I was 13. I had absolutely no clue what even entrepreneurship means, what an entrepreneur is, what startups mean. So I think really great presentation put up. Absolutely on point. No questions from my side, just good wishes.
Thank you.
We've got Andre and we've got Laurel, who are coming in from Bulgaria and London. So these are two really amazing mentors we've had for the club. They worked with us over the last few days. And if you've been picking up any ideas to work it out, especially at FamPay, remember, these are the guys who really fine-tune and refine those ideas. So there's a lot to thank the entire event to them as well. So I'll go to Andre first, and I have a distinct history of messing up people's names. So I really apologize if I've done it already. But Andre, if you want to go ahead first.
Sure. This was an amazing opportunity to, be able to see everyone's ideas and see them grow. And I hope you were able to, enjoy everyone's diverse perspectives. I think, even though, this might have been the first time that a lot of these students dealt with a marketing strategy, each and every one of them had these very creative elements. And for me personally, that was my favorite bit of working, is that everyone had their own unique little spin on it. And it's just a wealth of creativity and innovation happening in this Zoom room here right now.
What is a pitch? What does it mean to pitch? So don't think of it just from a business perspective or a startup perspective. But what is a pitch? You can give it your own definition. I'll pick the first person to talk, and then you tag the next person. Okay, cool. So Ananya, would you like to begin?
Actually, not quite sure. Because
that's okay. Give it a shot.
Maybe this is just a random guess, but like a sales pitch is like the idea, like the marketing strategy you involve in your plan to promote your product.
So it's a strategy. We'll pick up the important bits and pieces. Very fair. It's a strategy. Yes. Who would you like to tag to go next?
Harshita.
I think it's about making people feel that what you're saying makes sense.
Yes, that's correct. I'm going to talk about the small businesses today. We really need to help the street vendors and nearby shopkeepers because this lockdown has come at the time of peak months. People prefer online shopping during COVID-19 because it's convenient, offers doorstep delivery, and it's super safe. And as you can see in the graph, number of people who did online shopping have increased rapidly during 2020. That's why I say, flying shop, flying shop. But what is Flying Shop? So Flying Shop is an online retailer that locates the user and displays the nearby shop. The users can add the items to the cart and place the order, and safe and flying delivery is provided, and an option of takeaway is also given. Let's talk numbers. I think Prateek sir will be most interested by this slide because so we'll be buying smartphones, bikes, safety products, and we'll also be giving salaries for delivery men. So I'm estimating around 18,28,450 rupees. So for our judges from the UK, it's nothing but $24,700. So since it's a startup, I will start it as a small business and scale it to greater heights. And this app will also be available in all languages like Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Marathi, Gujarati. Oof, there's a lot of languages in India. So I believe that with the right marketing strategies, this can be the next Amazon. Thank you so much. Open to questions.
Right, thank you so much for your presentation, and a greater thanks for staying on time and not exceeding it. And I think it's becoming a club-wide tradition to start singing during your presentations as well. And I'm sure Laurel and Andre and everyone who was there last week also recognizes that. But I'm just reminded of what happens during Shark Tank when a presenter just comes along and says, I just want Mr. Wonderful, or I just want Mr. Robert Harjavik to invest in me. And that's exactly what you tried with Prateek.
Can't help that.
Right. So I think that's Mr. Prateek for you. So Prateek sir, if you want to go right ahead and question Deeksha, I think she'd be really disappointed if she doesn't get a really tough one from you as well.
I do have a tough one actually. So I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I was just thinking that if I go back to my teenage years, like I will be very, very ashamed of being in your company. You guys are like all very confident and with like great ideas. So congratulations to all of you. So Deeksha, question is, so you talked about all these expenses you're going to incur, giving them a phone and giving them having these delivery boys, etc., and taking 30% from the vendor, small business owner. So how would they make money? Like, have you thought about like how much their margins are, and can they even afford to give you 30%?
You're talking about the shopkeepers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I did some research and I got to know that 30 to 35% is how like businesses like Amazon, Flipkart, Dunzo and all make money. So I've taken 30% because since it's a startup, no one will be willing to give 35. To be honest, I started at 50% and L'Oreal told me that reduce it to like 30%, otherwise it's too much. Yeah, so yeah, that's the reason behind that.
So the next thing I want you to think about is your brand personality. You can think of it as a set of human characteristics that are attributed to a brand name. The brand personality, as I said, is something with which the consumer can directly relate to. In simple terms, it's kind of the driving force behind your whole brand experience, the unique element that brings your company to life and makes it easier for you to create meaningful connections and relationships, rather than just transactional experiences. For personality to be effective, it needs to be memorable and generate positive associations for your company, product, or service. So now I want you guys to think about, if your brand was a person, who would it be? Think of 5 or 6 adjectives that can be used to describe your brand personality. And again, I've put in a few to help you guys out. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to think of that. But keep thinking of the brand you initially had in mind and associate the 5 or 6 words that apply most to it to describe the personality.
Sure. I think authentic, cool, fashionable, playful. I think those are some that I think.
These are definitely good ones.
According to me, it's high-end, innovative, expensive, and bold.
Okay, yeah, these are all good as well. Expensive, I think, is debatable because it depends on which kind of price point you're looking at or which specific product you're looking at.
Along with that, I feel that expensive could be could put a negative outlook towards the brand.
You're right. In a way, instead of expensive, maybe you could. A lot of brands call themselves luxury brands, so you already know that price point at a certain level is a little higher than a normal brand.